Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to find out what the cotillion is. Be prepared for some really great stuff. Jeff Duncan, and I need to have them stand up. But stand up for a minute.
Stand up.
I just want you to show the attire that you would wear if you come to a cotillion. And this is, she's going to just take a shot of that and show, and because it's really kind of a formal dress that you wear.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Just, you can sit down now. And you know, if you like to really get dressed up, boy, this is like great, great, great. How long have you been dancing, both of you?
About 25 years.
25 years. And how did you learn? You just
We took lessons.
You took
we
lessons.
took dance lessons. We are a little bit younger than our members who learned to dance informally as children because they were taught by relatives or friends.
And would you advise, Jeff and Pat Duncan, would you advise people to take lessons like at a dance studio, or just to kind of, or can you get these on video? What is the best way to learn how to dance? And we're talking ballroom dancing.
Absolutely.
You don't do any hip hop, right?
And it's no, and it's also lead follow dancing. What we see on TV is mostly rehearsed, highly rehearsed.
And you mean like the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers? That's all.
Yes.
Dancing with the Stars.
Our favorite example.
Okay.
Dancing with the Stars. That's all highly rehearsed and very expert work.
Choreographed.
Yes. We do lead follow dancing. Neither Pat nor I know what's coming next.
Really?
It just...
You mean after all these years, you're still surprising
We just choreograph, yes,
Okay.
on the fly.
So you decide if she's going to turn.
Right.
Or whether she's going to go side by side, or
You
however.
bet. You bet. And so
Boy,
to answer your question, by all means, there are excellent instructors in the area, excellent instructors. And generally people start out by taking about an 8-week course. And if they find it's for them, then they continue on as long as they choose.
Well, it's interesting because I've taken lessons, and of course, if you ask me to do the merengue, I can do the merengue because that's for any direction it works for me, and I do that to anything that's got a Latin beat. But when you learn these, you have to practice, because I can't remember any of the dances. The West Coast Swing. I mean, I love that dance, but I don't remember any of the steps. Then once you take these lessons, how do you keep up with it to learn and hone it?
Well, you just have to go out and dance, and you have to take any opportunity that comes your way.
Right.
We're fortunate because we live in Lake George, which is a resort area, and so we can drop in on night spots where we can dance to live music, sometimes in bizarre circumstances. But you have to be brave.
Yeah,
you have to be brave.
And of course, when you dance, I'm sure everybody else stops and watches.
Well,
I know you don't go out like this all the time.
In our group, we're average dancers.
Yes.
In our group.
In the ballroom group, we're just average.
But you go out in public, and I encourage people who are thinking of getting into dancing to think along these lines. Even though when they start out, they may feel like rank beginners and they may want to hide in a crowd, remember that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, right?
That's
and
right.
so even though your dancing skills may not be all that great,
They're probably better
you look
than somebody
terrific.
next to,
The public
yeah,
says,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
you're a good dancer.
Now you started or someone started the Cotillion many years ago.
Yes, it was started in 1947 actually by a group of people who were probably in their 20s and 30s. This is of course post-war, and many of these were young people who now had the opportunity to follow a profession, to start families and so on. And so they got together and created this ballroom dance club, and we understand
it's an organization.
Yes, it's an organization, and we understand when they started they had 120 member couples. Okay. So dancing was certainly very big back in 1947.
Well, that's pretty big now, though. I mean, if you watch the TV, so you think you can dance. I don't watch a lot of that, but I know that if I'm clicking through and I see the dancers, I know it's all choreographed, and it's just. But you know, my favorite dancers, I'm sorry, are Ginger Rogers.
Ours too. We have all of their DVDs by our entertainment center.
You know, I mean, if you haven't watched some of these old films, they are just wonderful together.
Glorious.
And my favorite quote is what Ginger Rogers said. I do the same thing he does, but backwards and in high heels.
Since you're throwing out a quote, my favorite quote I think comes from the movie Strictly Ballroom, yes, where the female dance star steps back and says, "I am the picture, you are merely the frame." It's our job as the male to make the female look good on the dance floor.
But you know, if the male lead is not doing it right, the woman just looks. I mean, it's like sometimes I'll dance.
Can be pitiful.
It's like if you don't get the right lead, you're saying, "What do you want me to do? Where am I going?" You know, okay, I'll just do what I want to do, and then it falls apart. Now, this is kind of a closed organization. Is that what you say?
Well, it's a membership organization, and the main reason we have a ceiling is that so our members can actually dance. There's nothing more frustrating than having a big crowd of people, and you go to a lovely venue, and you find that they've put up a portable dance floor, maybe with like half a dozen squares, so maybe 6 couples could dance on that. And so we have a ceiling of 70 member couples so that our members have room to dance.
Do you have any openings now?
Yes, we do.
We have a few openings.
This is the time of year when we are soliciting members for our 2013-14 season. And our season begins in October and runs through May. We offer 7 formal dinner dances, and we dance to live music.
Nice.
Yes, and it's all to live music. We don't use any
for your
DJs.
live music?
A group called the Overtones, which are based out of Kinderhook. And they are wonderful because they've trained themselves to be a ballroom dance band.
There's nothing worse than having a band that is used to playing for just kind of freestyle dancing, and then and you're listening, waiting for that beat to come, and it's like it's somewhere else.
And they don't know rhythms. You can say, "Could you do a samba?" and their eyes glaze over.
And they go, "That's sort of like a cha-cha with a oomph or something."
No, they don't always know that.
They don't even know it's a cha-cha.
And sometimes their tempos aren't really chosen well for dancers. So we actually cultivated our band, and we worked with them to sort of teach them to be a dance band. So they do
where do
wonderful
you hold your
rhythms.
Well,
today the primary venues are the Mohawk Golf Club.
Oh, they have that's a nice.
And that's a very nice, great room with dining around the outside of the great room. And the other common one is now called the Polonaise Ballroom.
Yes.
It used to be the Polish Community Center.
Okay, all right.
Out at Washington Avenue Extension.
Yeah. Oh, they call it the Polonaise now. They changed the name.
That is the best dance floor in the area.
It is great.
Just wonderful.
Yeah, and they do keep it in very good condition.
Right.
And so you got plenty, and you've got all the seating around it for dinner. What type of dinners do you have? I mean, are they themed dinners or just?
No, they're usually. We have the venue suggest. They give us a list of things to choose from. So we would give our members a choice of 4 entrees. One of them is always vegetarian, and the price varies depending on what they choose.
On where you are.
Yes.
When you do the ballroom dance, do you do requests, or you just let them play and let it go? Or
we generally let them play, and they know what we want. However,
you want a polka,
we encourage
you want a quick step, you want.
Yes. But we encourage them to accept requests, and people do occasionally make requests.
Okay, all right. So, and you, I mean, this sounds like really a great way to get involved, but I think you're probably better off if you don't know how to dance, it probably is not a good time to join the Cotillion.
No, you probably need a
You need
little
some-
bit of, even if you've only had an 8-week course,
Right.
it's just enough to get you in there and ready to move.
However, if it's a couple our age or
Yes,
older
that's right.
who did learn when they were young
You could step in
and
have many
have been
couples like that.
dancing, they will
Come
step
back.
in and they'll learn off the floor.
off the floor.
Right.
We showed a little bit, Greg, can you put that on again a little bit?
No, we have the dark switch queued up.
Okay, because we were showing Herschel Allen,
Yes.
who is really, and I've danced with him. He's really a
very good.
marvelous dancer and is a good
And a
teacher.
good instructor,
Very
yes.
good.
Good, very good instructor. So if you want to, and do you do demos at your dances?
We have them offered by people like Herschel who
Okay.
have the expertise.
The
to do
clip
them.
that you showed in the last break
Yeah.
was Herschel and Wendy Hill doing a demo at our Cotillion 65th anniversary event last season, which was held at the Old Daily Inn over on the other side of the
Do
river.
they have a dance floor there?
Beautiful.
very nice.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very
Yes,
nice.
it's an expanded venue with a
Okay.
gorgeous floor.
Great.
It's a little bit off the beaten track, but it was wonderful
It's
for
a nice
special
place. It's a nice
event.
Yeah.
place. I've been there to eat,
Yes.
but I didn't realize they had a dance floor.
Yes.
So.
So
very elegant.
we do have demos done. We don't do demos. We're strictly lead follow dancers.
follow.
Yeah.
You heard that right? You
Yes,
gotta
I do.
follow him.
I do most of the time. Sometimes I whirl away from
In
it,
the
but-
kitchen, you can lead them. How's that? We've been talking with Pat and Jeff Duncan. If you're interested in the Cotillion, they do have a website. We've been showing it on the air, and please check it out. Or you can check me out on Facebook, and you can get all the information that's been on this show on Facebook, and you can even see videos by going to my website at www.annperillo.com.